Hello YouTubers, it's me, Marcus the Bone Duster Wants. No intros today, I've got to talk about something a bit a bit more important, a bit more intellectual. I mean, what normally happens when, I come on, do these silly YouTube videos, having a bit of trying to have a bit of fun, try and blow up a bit of steam. But there's times where you've gotta engage your brain. And what I'd normally do is I'd come here and, come on these videos, have a lot of bravado, play up the character, and act like I've got all the answers. But for this situation, I really have no idea. I couldn't even begin to conceive or formulate any solution to this problem. Well, it's not my job to do so, but it is. But it is worrying, isn't it? It's something that could affect any of us at any given time. You can tell by the title what I'm talking about. But obviously we've all been thinking about it, we've all been talking about it among ourselves, I'm sure in your real lives and on the internet you've been discussing it. And ultimately this is the problem. What do you do against a cancer? And they really are, I'm not just using that as derogative, they really are the human manifestation of cancer. Because they integrate, they assimilate so seamlessly into the shadows of society. I mean, you hear and you read some people say they should nuke them, we should drop more bombs. But they aren't a state, they aren't in one city, they're everywhere. They've spread across the veins of the earth. I mean, obviously, I've got strongholds in Syria and Iraq, but there's still civilians living there as well. So you can't, just dropping bombs without any care of the civilians and stuff. Oh, they're probably trying to aim, but things go wrong. And so you can't be dropping nukes either. That'd be ridiculous. But what do you do about this? Do you send more ground forces in? Once again, once they get there, who says that members of ISIS aren't going to pretend to be civilians? I mean, during the old Iraq war, they used to try and lure soldiers out into the open using kids who were just, kids would ask them to pass their ball back. They'd come out in the open and boom, they'd get shot by someone hiding. So, I mean, what do you do? So now, for once, sometimes I can use a bit of logic, a bit of some of my very little understanding of the wider world to say something, but I've got nothing. I do know something though. Someone at work was sort of questioning why these people do this sort of thing. Why would they attack civilians? Why wouldn't they attack government buildings? That I can formulate some sort of conclusion to. Obviously, it's just to instill fear into everyone. There was 4, 5 different sites of attacks in Paris. Random. Unfocused. Loads of different sites. And that's to tell you that they can attack and will attack anywhere and everyone. It's quite so no matter where you are or who you are, you're not safe, are you? Yes, that's what they're trying to do. But yeah, and the cause, what they're actually trying to achieve from it is that fear. But also, what they're trying to do, it's a cycle. It's a cycle of terror. They do an attack. The people start blaming the religions. The people who were in that religion start to feel resentment for the hate that the people are giving them. Then they get radicalized, join ISIS or another terrorist group like Boko Haram, Al Qaeda back in the day. and do more terror attacks, and the cycle just continues. And they understand that cycle, so they can use it, they can play it into their hands. And that's how it all works. Now, I've listened to a bit of the old French news. Apparently, the one guy that got away didn't get shot or kill himself. Apparently, the police stopped him. Been a bit of criticism of the French for, police and secret services, and they questioned him, but they let him off, and now they're trying to look for him again. But ultimately, a lot of people get angry at this sort of thing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're working, you've got your profession. If you say you work in a customer services role, someone calls you up and they expect you to be an expert in that job that you're in. And the same expectations that the people have of those that are there to protect us. And while they're probably going to be highly trained, highly qualified, highly skilled, highly experienced, at the end of the day, they're still like me and you, these people. They're still human. Mistakes are going to be made, unfortunately. So there's that, man. So yeah, it's terrible, isn't it, man? But and another point that came up at work, and I'd like to share my thoughts on this as well, because it's worth thinking about. Apparently there were attacks in Nigeria as well, with Boko Haram, I mentioned previously, slaughtering loads of people, but there's been no prey for Nigeria or anything. And I was thinking about why is that? And they were trying to go down the racist route. But I like to not. I don't think that many people are actually racist in 2015. Yeah, I like to think that we've, developed more, can see the world better than just going, oh, you're a different colour, so you must be bad. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. I like to think we've overcome that at least a bit more. But that might just be optimistic thinking. I guess the problem is, in places like Africa and the Middle East, these atrocities, this devastation happens more often. We hear about it more in the news. When there's nothing, if Paris hadn't happened, the Nigeria stuff may have been in the news and stuff. But we know it happens there. We remember the schoolgirls getting stolen there and stuff. And we know this sort of thing happens. There's suicide bombs in Iraq and Syria all the time. It's almost normal, I guess. But when it happens here, in our own backyard, France is just over the pond, man. Someone was saying you can get there in like half an hour. Even less, I guess, if you really tried. We think the West, civilized West, is a safe haven from those savages. Well, it's not now. It just isn't now. I guess that's the problem. It's not a safe haven. And I think that's why it's in the news more. Because you just don't expect it to happen. We think we're safe, but the Charlie Hebdo cartoonist thing, that was this year as well. It was right at the beginning of this year, but that was this year as well. I mean, some of them were at a gig in France. This Saturday, this weekend, I'm going to a gig. I'm going out in Birmingham, quite a big city. Could be me. Makes you actually think for once. Actually think. This could be me. There were just people going out. Bars. Football match. Football match tomorrow between France and England at Wembley. Obviously, there's going to be loads of armed guard there. I suppose segues into the next thing. There was some criticism of Jeremy Corbyn, who's the opposition leader of the political party who's in opposition, for those who don't know. And people have been criticising him apparently for saying that he wouldn't want to shoot on sight of the terrorists if they tried to do anything at the match tomorrow. And people have criticised him for this. at face value, like, yeah, they pop up, yeah, shoot them down, quick, hard, fast. But I suppose it's sad, really, isn't it? And once again, 21st century, 2015. We as a race, we as a collective force of people, and our first instincts, our first thought, yes, it would be best if we shot someone. I guess that's just a bit sad, really, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a bit sad. When our first thought towards another human being is, you must die. So, I don't know what you'd have to do about it. But interesting to see what Jeremy Corbyn thinks we should do about it, though. Maybe question time this week is where they get some people on to talk about political events. It'd be good to think what we should do about it. But I really have no idea. I think the pros and cons of each situation is too complicated for mere mortals like myself. A lot of but what I think we should do as everyday people like me, people like you, is, I think we should try and live our lives. Don't let they want us to not live our lives. They want us to live in fear. Let's not live in fear. Let's live our lives, and let's not attack big groups of people like the Muslims, the people who worship Islam. It's not all of them now. It's not all of them. I suppose what we should be saying is not none of them. Because the twick, sadistic, demented version of Islam, that IS, Islamic State, the so-called version of Islam that they worship, isn't the one. No, it's correct. That is actually the one. So I think that's those two things we should be doing. Don't fall to the urge, to the instinct of Islamophobia. Don't play into hands that way. And this Saturday, go out to your gigs, go out to your bars, have a few drinks, enjoy yourselves. Don't play into their hands. But other than that, the important people that we elect, they're going to have to come up with something comprehensive and good. Well thought out. Because this keeps happening. We had Iraq, now we've got this. Maybe it's in human nature to be terrorists, I guess, but I wouldn't want to think that. I think we need to all come together, Russia, us, America. We need to come together and, come up with a full plan. Sit down with Assad of Syria even. He's been dropping chemical weapons on his people. And that's why we don't like him. He was dropping chemical weapons on his own people. Maybe he should go. But what happened with Gaddafi, Colonel Gaddafi, was it Libya? In Libya. That's where a lot of the migrants are coming from, who trying to go over the sea to get into Europe, because we left that place unstable after we got rid of Colonel Gaddafi. So we can't make that same mistake and leave a big power vacuum in Syria. So yeah. But keep the people who died in your hearts as well. Keep them in your thoughts. If you're religious, keep them in your prayers. If you're not, keep them in your thoughts. And live the lives that they won't get to live anymore. Do it in their name. And when you're feeling down, if you're feeling suicidal and stuff, or you're just feeling down and you're not feeling motivated, you have opportunity in life to do whatever. To whatever you want. An opportunity that those people who so sadly died won't get. So, you know, you have to take life by its horns and, you know, really make the full of it. Because those people won't get the opportunity. Hopefully one day we can live in a world that's filled with peace, filled with the occasional internet argument that you have someone around the world where you just call each other names, and that's just how much it will escalate arguments to. The occasional argument about whose sports team won what and stuff. Occasionally playing Call of Duty against each other, keyboard or controller. And that's just as far, that's the full extent of human disagreement and argument. That would be beautiful. But until then, just as an individual, just don't be a bastard. Just don't be a bastard. Just try and be nice. Say thank you, say please, smile. Try and laugh, try and have a bit of fun. And just live. Just live. I think I touched on all the points I wanted to in this video. Well, go back to your normal, silly broadcasting, scheduled programming. But I felt like this is something I needed to talk about. Because it is important. So thank you very much for watching. And, yeah. Have a good day, rest of the evening, or day if you're an American. And, yeah. Keep living. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye for now.